who's a young lady who sadly passed away, and what he's about to do, what he's done in the past, and everything that's involved, and all the bits and pieces he has been doing. He's been very, very busy. He's been training for the 24-hour Le Mans cycle ride, which is on the 25th of August.
Yeah.
And he's now going to tell us all about it. Good morning, Dennis.
Morning. Thank you for having us.
That's my pleasure. Yeah.
Well, it's like all these events and all these charities and these organisations, it's a team effort. Mm-hmm. And on the big day, 25th of August, we'll be in France at the Le Mans racetrack, where all the big 24-hour car races go. That's what captured our imagination.
Yeah.
And simply putting, there'll be a 4-man team, myself, Martin Carter, who's kind of the cycle team leader, because he's the cycling specialist, Mr. Colin Demant, all local guys, and Chris. I'll have to look, because I can't say Chris's name very well.
That's right, okay. No problem.
And so it's a good Irish name, Chris Harnety.
Oh, very, very Irish. I see what you mean on that one.
Yeah, Chris Harnety.
Yeah.
And we'll be setting up over there, ready for the 24 hours of continual racing. And we'll have a 4-man team, hour racing, then you'll come off, and the next team member will go, the next team member, and then you're back on again. And it's 24 hours until you've made all your laps. And as I was saying to you earlier, when we've watched some on the television and on YouTube, it is a Ben-Hur chariot race. It is elbow to elbow, knee to knee. We did see on the footage one little collision where a chap went down in the middle of the crowd, and I just saw the front wheel of his bike sail off.
Whoops!
And that really kind of brought it home to you how serious it is.
Yeah,
that we've really got. But we have been training since last year.
Yeah.
So and luckily, as a bonus, in all that training, I've lost half a stone since Christmas. With the training that we do.
So there's some bonuses as well.
That's a good bonus. Yeah, I've gone from lost half a stone. So that's always a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, this capture imagination, but you need something that makes you get up and start pedaling at 6 o'clock in the morning, and that is the Shona Smiles charity. We were lucky enough to meet her dad last year, and he asked us if we would be willing, because he'd seen some of the other little adventures we'd had, and we said it would be great. And we did, at short notice, we did the 3 peaks for them last year.
Right.
And they were that pleased with the money that we'd raised at short notice, and we would like to have done more for them. So from last year doing the 3 peaks, we've really been planning this Le Mans 24-hour cycle race to try and up the ante, put more out there for them, and hopefully raise more money for their charity.
Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant.
It's for children. It's local, Ipswich.
Yeah.
And if the child could be anybody's, could be her child, is having chemotherapy, then what they do is they give them away days. So they'll get enough money together, they'll send a kiddie to Disney, Euro Disney, or America Disney.
Yeah.
Get them little computers, and then recently they've got a very large camper van, and the family can take that then between treatments. They can have a break from the hospital, go off, have a weekend away or a week away, and then come back and start the rigors of the medication again.
Yeah.
And the charity, when we said we would do this, we were planning this, they've kindly offered, we weren't expecting, they kindly offered us to lend us their big bus to get all the bikes, all the kit, the team. And we set off, I think it's the 23rd of February, we'll be getting the ferry to France, then driving the 400 miles down to the Le Mans racetrack, and then we race starting on the Saturday, straight through the Saturday night into the Sunday morning, and then when the event is over and we've survived, then we drive home on the bank holiday, because it'll be the last bank holiday, won't it?
Yes, of course it is, the August bank holiday, yeah.
So that's the plan, and it's all, at the moment, it's all going well. Nobody's fell off. People have bought new bikes, new faster bikes.
Brilliant.
It's very, very serious. It's nobody's going out there to take part. We're all going out there to do our best to come back with the best placing we can get for the team from Felixstowe.
Yes, it sounds absolutely marvellous. It really does. Yeah, Dennis. I mean, how can people sponsor you? I mean, what's the best way of?
Well, there's the boring old-fashioned way, I suppose, where we go around with the old sponsorship forms.
Yeah.
But also at the moment, the charity with their where you can join them.
Yes.
www.shonasmile.org, and you can go on there and see they're a registered charity, and the number's 1110177. But also at the moment, the charity is trying to get up one of those sites, Just Giving sites.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
They haven't had one before, but because because we're hoping to get more publicity, like with coming to Fit Kindly, Felixstowe Radio, Felixstowe TV, and hopefully Felixstowe Radio. They could go to that site, Just Giving, and you can see, you'll probably see there, I think, 3 men in a bike, because when we originally started this back in 1999, when we were a little bit younger, we set up a little site, 3 men in a bike, and then as it's snowballed over the years, we've got, as I was saying to you, we've got the Caledonian Canoe, we've got the 3 Peaks climbing, we've many an adventure on there that we've thankfully survived, and it's all on that site, 3 men and a bike, and you'll see some of the stuff there. But as I say, the charity's trying to set up the Just Giving site where people can go on, see what's happening, look, and then you can just put a donation. We started that a couple of years ago for when we did cancer. We did another cancer charity when we went to Holland last year, pedalled to Amsterdam and back last year, and things like that.
I think it's absolutely brilliant, Dennis. Now, as you say, you've done your canoeing. You said you went to Holland last year. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, I think one of the highlights, as it says, started in 1999, and we did. It started off with a late night drink discussing let's climb Ben Nevis for charity.
Yeah.
And it turned into let's cycle from Land's End to John O'Groats for 14 days. And we took a year to train for it. And we then we went the scenic route, and we did 1,030 miles. And that's still a great, I did not realise, and I don't think any of the team did, what a beautiful country we have.
We definitely have.
Because the route the cycle union gave you, it's not just the Lake District, the Yorkshire Dales, the Highlands. The route they gave us, every single day, you would think to yourself, why am I doing this? This is hurting. But every single day, at least 3 times, you would get to a viewing point on your bicycle, and you'd stop and you'd look around and you think, it's worth it for this. And and I was a bit younger then, so I wasn't that much into scenery, but even me at that age, I used to think, this is stunning. And every single day, and another, we did that, and then you need something that captures your imagination.
Yes, you have to.
You can't just say, let's walk from here to, all right then. You need something that, like the Le Mans or canoe in the Caledonian Canal, something you think, right, I'm going to get fit for that, I'm going to do it. That sounds fantastic. That'll make me get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to do extra training or things like that. So I think another highlight, as you were saying there, was the Caledonian Canal, where we started at Neptune Staircase quite a few years ago. I had lots of support from my team on that one, and my work colleagues with canoeing lessons. Yeah. And we then paddled from Neptune Staircase, which Queen Victoria had built many years ago to try and get heavy industry up into Scotland.
Okay,
and it's a series of locks,
Yeah.
many locks, and they could. So when you think of canal, it's not the kind of canals we think of. It was built by Queen Victoria had it built to get heavy industry up to the Highlands. So it is a very big, wide, deep canal, which then connects Loch Lochy, Loch Oyk, and Loch Ness. And that was we've been very fortunate on all these little adventures. The weather's always been good to us. We always tend to aim usually for September, and the weather always tends to be good, because when we started, September was a must because the kids were back at school.
Yes, of course.
It's not such a must now because they're all working, but luckily.
Yeah.
And that was, I cannot put into words how stunning Loch Ness on a at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the morning
Yeah.
with the mist on the hills. I cannot tell you how beautiful it was. And I developed the Pope syndrome on that one. You know, where he gets out the plane and kisses the floor.
Oh yes, yes, I'm with you. Yeah.
Oh, I can't swim, so I broke my arm when I was a kid learning to swim, and I never got round to it.
Okay.
So every time I got out of that canoe on terra firma on dry land, I was always very, very grateful, because
Yes.
Loch Ness is one of the deepest lochs in the whole of Great Britain,
Right. Okay.
and it's only got to be about 6 foot deep for me to be in trouble anyway. But I never had a shade of doubt that I wanted to do it, because as soon as you saw the scenery,
Yeah.
I was hooked. I was quite happy to risk with me life jacket tied in about 16 knots to make sure it didn't come off, because and the chaps forgot to mention to me that they wanted a bit of adrenaline. That was adrenaline enough for me when you're not a great swimmer, but we went down the river Ness, and there was a lot of rapids and things like that, and I was hanging on for dear life, I can tell you. That was quite hairy for a non-swimmer. I think it'd be hairy for anybody, because there's rocks as big as this settee coming
Oh my
at you.
goodness.
But again, we were very fortunate. We were looked after,
Yeah.
and we got to the final place. But when we cycled, it was all beautiful. But I can remember the last day. We're in a place called Altnahara, and we started pedalling, and you couldn't see anything. It was that misty and foggy up in the Highlands, and this was the last day. And then the mist started to clear, and I looked to my left, and there was just like the tourist industry want. There was the biggest stag you've ever seen, with the great antlers.
Wow.
And the mist was clearing, and then you could see the loch, and then you could see the purple mountains, and I thought, this doesn't get any better. You couldn't ask for more. What is it they say? It's not about getting to the end, it's the journey, isn't it?
It definitely is.
Yeah.
You're right there.
So,
Yeah.
but as we were saying earlier about the team, none of this would be available without the backing of her wives and families, because we have to take quite a bit of time to train. The team organising it and working together. Colin Demant, he's a local.
Yes.
Martin Carter, another local. Chris, he comes up and trains with us very vigorously. We all started training together, as I say, many years ago when we met up, and we used to train in martial arts together, and we've kind of took that determination and focus and utilised it for these projects and these adventures, and that's where we are. That's where we are at the moment. Really, we're hard in training, getting all the equipment together, all the organisation, but it's all going really well. We just want to keep training, and hopefully no accidents between now and then, because it won't stop it if there is. What will happen is that just means the team has to work harder, because we'll have to do it.
Of course it does. Of course it does. And so we have spoken. I mean, I believe that you've got very good backing from your workplace.
Yes, I'm very fortunate. I work out at Hollesley Bay. I do the construction and training people in construction, City and Guilds, BTEC, EdXL, CC, all qualifications that the guys can learn, and they do. We do painting and decorating, scaffolding, plastering, bricklaying, plumbing, carpentry, and the chaps we have. I used to work directly for the prison service, but a few years ago, again, no complaints. Were to save a bit of money. Obviously, we were privatised.
Yeah.
Not the prison, just the workshops and the education.
Yeah.
And I work for a company called A4E now. And they are so supportive. I mean, they've short notice, they've given me this day off, and we've arranged cover, and they've sponsored us before. They've put their hand in their pocket.
Brilliant.
And hopefully they will this time.
I'm sure they will.
And really, I mean, they've got it in their their Works magazine.
Yeah.
They've put it in there for us to try and get the message out for sponsorship, for the charity. So, we've got a very good tight team that work together of the construction and education people. And over the years, they must dread seeing me coming, because they know I'm going to have a sponsorship form in my hand. But they usually always dig deep. And we've, in the past, when we did the Amsterdam last year, that was one of our, pedaling from Felixstowe to Amsterdam and back in the weekend. and I think we raised well over £3,000 for the cancer charity.
That's
There, it
marvellous.
was quite a big team that time, so obviously you can push more. It was probably, it was well, I think it was quite well over 3,000 in, because you start collecting it in, and and you thought, we've got this much, and then more people than you give, and
Yeah,
so it really went. What it really, that was a really good high one last year, and we're hoping this year for the Shona Smiles. We're hoping that we're going to push it over that.
that's it, and go further, which I'm sure
Yeah.
you're going to.
Well, we hope so. That's
Yeah, I'm sure you
people
will.
like yourself who support that gives us a chance to bring it to a wider people.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. That's what we're here for. That's the idea.
Yeah. Thank you.
So what about the future? I mean, you're also involved in something else, which is coming up, again, locally based.
Yes. As you probably know, there's the White Collar Boxing Club opened up, and it's a community run. It's not a profit-making
No.
organisation. It's kindly sponsored, pushed by the council. There's boxing there, but also the boxers kindly rent us the facilities.
Yeah.
So we do. Myself and my friend Peter Rodwell, another Felix.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Rodwell's quite a well-known name in Felixstowe.
It definitely is.
And we do. We're trying to off the ground at the moment a very traditional family-based. We want the mums, the dads, the kids. We want the families. We'd like to get the whole families involved in martial arts to build community through it, because people always think about boxing and martial arts as biffing and hitting people.
Yeah.
Well, it's martial arts especially. It's the opposite. It's all about control,
Okay.
self-discipline, humility, respect. That's the things that we're trying to get across. And we do traditional karate. We do akijitsu, which is
You'll have to explain that one to me. That's new.
the karate is a Japanese
Yeah.
and Korean,
Yes.
but the jiu-jitsu is very much a Japanese style, and it's very much for the older members of the family, 16 above, because it's joint manipulation.
Okay.
So it's very much, you can restrain rather than rather than, if you have to protect yourself, it's more than just punching and kicking and striking. It's very much a restraining holds, locks, shins, knees, anything that'll bend. And it's a very, very, very old martial art, because obviously back in the day, the samurais would have their armour on like our European knights.
Yes.
And it's no good hitting somebody in armour. So you had to go for the wrists, anywhere where the armour bent.
Right.
So the jiu-jitsu focuses on manipulating the joint. So you've lost your sword on the battlefield.
Yeah.
You want to stay alive. And you've got to grapple, throw, take down, and restrain or the attacker. So that's what akijitsu is about. And we even do a little bit of kung fu, if anybody's interested, the old Wing Chun kung fu.
Right. How many members have you got at the moment?
At the moment, we're just starting off. So I would say kickboxers, on a good night, there'll be about 8 to 10 kickboxers.
Yeah.
And then that's usually on a Wednesday, sorry, let me get this right, Tuesday night.
Yeah.
With 7 o'clock, and then we'll train as long as the people want to train. And then Tuesday night we have the traditional karate, and that's where we have more younger end, the children, but we're hoping to get mums and dads. The kids will be much more interested if the dad's doing it with them. As I said to you earlier, my son was 5.
Yeah.
My youngest son was 5 when he started, and he did the football, and they still do the basketball. They both started, both my sons, but my youngest son, he stuck with it. And he, on his second attempt, achieved black belt just before his 11th birthday. He's now a young, strapping man of 20 now, but he still has that drive and won't give in attitude that martial arts of any description places into you. That you must just keep going, don't give in, get knocked down. That's what life's about. Get back up.
Yes, of course it is.
And have another go. And if you stick to it, you'll get there, So So we do the kickboxing on a Tuesday, karate on a Wednesday, 6:30, and then Friday at the moment we're doing, for those who want to, we'll do kickboxing and karate for those 6 o'clock karate, and then 7 o'clock kickboxing for those who want to get another lesson in.
So people can just turn up for this, or do they need to contact you first?
They just turn up.
Just turn up.
You can contact, but we always let people have a little go at it. So first at the moment, what we'll say is first lesson free.
Yeah.
See if you like it. Try the different disciplines.
And the full address to where to find you?
It's the Solar Garage. Sorry, the Solar Garage is around the corner.
Yes, yes.
And there's the old Peugeot car forecourt sales place.
Right, so that's next to the fire station.
That's it.
I think that's the best way of putting it. Next to the fire station, you know where to find them.
And they've got a proper ring, punch bags, matted area.
Yep.
So come along and use these facilities,
I think that's absolutely brilliant.
And we've got more than one instructor, so you're talking, when you put the added ages of the instructors together, you're talking like 50 years experience between them.
Yes.
So it's there. And it's a good way to keep fit. It's a good way to get some self-discipline, some respect for you, because we always emphasize the bowing, because they're not just there for you to try and hit. That person's helping you improve.
Yes,
so we look after each other, because they're helping you become what you want to be.
Yes.
Your full potential, I think is the word, isn't
it? A better person, maybe.
That's it.
I think that's a good way of putting it.
That's what we're really after,
Yeah, which I think it's brilliant. Oh, it's been really interesting talking to you, Dennis. It really has. You've done an awful lot of good. You're going to do an awful lot more.
Yeah, not just myself, as I say, it's a team effort.
You're a team, and I say thank you very much for coming along.
I'd like to say thank you.
Thank you very much,
Dennis.
Dennis. Thank you.
Thank you.